Hey yo, what's up YouTube? It's me, Dream Harmony. Today I'm gonna be talking about some One Piece greatness and a specific character in One Piece that a lot of people have been thinking about recently, which is Marshall D. Teach, aka Blackbeard. So Blackbeard is known for being the other half of the coin to Luffy. He's like the dark side while Luffy's the light side. He's like the moon god to Luffy's sun god. And I like to note that he also considered himself to be like Joy Boy. Like before Whitebeard died, he was he said he started talking about some stuff like Roger was looking for me all along. I'm that man that he was waiting for. When in reality, us the viewers, we know that it was Luffy. But when you think about it, Blackbeard, he laughs a lot, don't he? He reminds me of like a darker version of like Joy Boy. He's not Joy Boy, but he still laughs. So, anyways, so Blackbeard, let's talk about his body. His body is strange. Before eating that devil fruit, his body was always strange. Like Marco said that he never sleep. Like during the little fight when they was fighting against the Roger Pirates, he never slept for like the entire time. The dude is like immortal or something. But he never slept in nothing. And this is before the devil fruit and everything. And then he left that crazy scar on Shanks. I'm pretty sure that he didn't have the devil fruit when he left that scar on Shanks. And you see how Shanks is right now. He's a Yonko. He haven't even fought yet. And I'm pretty sure when he do fight, it's just gonna be madness. So, Blackbeard was kind of crazy already to begin with. But then ever since he got that devil fruit, things got a lot more interesting. So, he showcased his abilities in the fight against Ace. And I'm assuming that I'm pretty sure that this is like around the first time where he started like getting his abilities. Like this is like right after he killed Thatch to get the devil fruit to begin with. And that's why Ace literally went after him as soon as he heard about it. Like, oh, you killed my homie Thatch, I'm coming for you. Some stuff like that. And that's when things got interesting. Right there about Blackbeard. When he was fighting Ace, he displayed the ability to like absorb in a lot of stuff, a lot of matter. Like when he fought Ace, he absorbed the entire town. And by absorb, I mean he compressed and sucked in everything around the shadowy mist that he emitted from his body. And that was like hella destructive. Like he destroyed the entire town. And then right after sucking it all in and like having it just like I'm gonna say inside his body. And I'm gonna tell you why later. After absorbing all that stuff in with his shadow and then the shadow going back into his body, he distributed it. He like pushed it all back out like a mean turd on a Friday afternoon. He pushed that shit out with this move called Liberation, and it was like Liberation, and just everything just like falling everywhere. So it started falling everywhere and shit. So by the way, so Blackbeard, ever since he ate in this devil fruit, he said that his body has got a lower tolerance to pain because like the properties, basically his body itself gained the properties of darkness. Like if you think about it, darkness like light. I mean darkness absorbs in light. Like imagine wearing a t-shirt on a hot summer day. People tell you not to do it because that darkness absorbs in all the light and it goes directly into your skin, making you hotter. I think I suppose it's true. I don't really care if it was or was not, but I like the science behind it because it's awesome. But he absorbed in all that. I mean the blackness absorbs in all types of light particles and stuff, and it brings it in like an endless void. So, just like Blackbeard's body, he absorbs in a lot more. Like, let's say food. You know, he's just like Luffy. He eats a lot. So maybe he eats a lot because his body allows it. Since his darkness is like he can keep on eating, considering he's like, you know, darkness absorbs a lot of stuff. And aside from that, darkness, that's all. And now I have a theory about that, but I'm gonna get to it later. Actually, I'm gonna get to it now. So maybe the reason Teach has 2 devil fruits right now, because he absorbed Whitebeard's devil fruit, is because his body has literally his soul itself, his body and his soul has the properties of darkness, which is absorbing absorbing, did I say that right? Absorbing, whatever. Taking in bullshit. So you know you could take in a lot. So pain, take that in a lot. Food, taking a lot of that. Sleep, when he do sleep, take it in a lot. Maybe he absorb his energy for sleep in a different way. I don't know. But the maybe the reason he got 2 devil fruits, for one, is because his body is now able to take in that much. Because usually when the devil fruit user tries to hold the power of 2 devil fruits, or try to eat 2 devil fruits, because they say eat, they don't say just hold, they say eat. So if a devil fruit user tries to eat 2 devil fruits, the devils in their body is going to clash and explode the body as a result. Okay, makes sense. Don't be greedy. But in Blackbeard's case, he was able to harbor the power of 2 devil fruits. I'm thinking that he was able to do that because that dark fruit that he has, that strange, apparently Logia dark type fruit, has changed and altered his body as even more so than it was. Like, his body was already strange. I think that fruit was like the cherry on top. So look, when Whitebeard died, Blackbeard put a cover over him, making it completely dark, or maybe just to hide it from other people. But I'm theorizing that it's just so that he could have complete darkness. So when he had that amount of darkness, I think he absorbed Whitebeard's soul itself, or at least did something similar to what Mother Carmel did. I mean, what Big Mom did when she ate Mother Carmel. But I don't think Whitebeard eating anything on Whitebeard's body. People think that it's the heart, but I don't really think so. I think that it was mainly that power that he got, because you know his ability is to absorb. So I'm thinking that, like an endless void, his power alone was able to absorb the devil fruit spirit before it was able to try to escape and go into a different devil fruit. So I'm thinking that he absorbed that spirit of the devil fruit, and maybe even took in Whitebeard's soul itself too, potentially. But with the power of darkness, he absorbed it into his body, because you know his body is now darkness itself, instead of being made up of darkness, which is what a Logia should be. It's darkness. He said that it's darkness. Like, my body is not made up of darkness, but it's darkness. So, with that being said, that explains why he's able to, like, take in Whitebeard's devil fruit without, like, exploding. And to explain why he doesn't explode, maybe it's because the darkness was more overwhelming. Maybe the force of that darkness was so overwhelming that it wasn't able to do that. Or the darkness had a place for his devil fruit inside of his body. Like, it is an endless void. So maybe because it's an endless void that constantly gets bigger the more powerful you are, it was enough room for that devil fruit to exist, for its power to exist. Now, in the fight against Ace, Blackbeard had used this move called Black Vortex, where he pulls Ace in. But the only reason he's able to pull Ace in is because of Ace has a devil fruit. He literally says that thing about specifically devil fruit users. I mean, I don't think he specifies to make it that obvious, but I paid attention to the details. So when he absorbed Ace devil fruit thing, then Ace fucking when he absorbed Ace's powers, his body went along with it because it's made of his powers. So when Ace started getting sucked into Blackbeard's vortex, he finally Ace was still able to use his abilities, but the fact that he was getting sucked in means that he was absorbing him like he would with light. He can absorb in his surroundings. That's kind of interesting. Powers. Anyways, so let me stop rambling. So Blackbeard absorbs in Ace's devil fruit, which makes him come in closer. So when he finally grabs Ace, and Ace realizes that he can't use his powers no more, and he like punches the fuck out of him. Ace lost his devil fruit powers at that moment, and honestly, I think that Blackbeard absorbed it, so he was actually okay. This is my theory, but I think that technically, since he absorbed it with his devil fruit, he would technically be able to use it while he's in contact with him. In the case of Whitebeard died, so it was no longer attached to him. So he took it while it was in the sky, while it was trying to leave. So he just grabbed that poor little devil fruit soul and brought it into his vortex. But Ace, he still, the devil fruit power is still bound to his body, so he can't just take it just like that. But I'm still thinking, I feel like if he was physically in contact with Ace, maybe he can use the power of the flame fruit up in his other hand or on a different body part of his. Of course, not like through his body, because his body is literally made up of shadows and darkness. So, I mean, not made up of, but is darkness. So I doubt that he'll be able to do much with that. But I feel like he could distribute that power of the flame fruit just because he was touching Ace. And maybe while he's fighting, he can absorb attacks or absorb things and distribute it, just like his move Liberation. Maybe the next level to Liberation would be absorb and distribute more than just objects like this Febreze King crumbled up. Maybe he'll be able to like absorb powers and crumble it up into a ball of energy or whatever, or like maybe get more creative with it, but I don't know. So yeah, I believe that his the core power to Blackbeard's ability is to absorb and to distribute. So he takes and he pushes back out. But in this case of Whitebeard's devil fruit, he took it completely, so now it's a part of him. And maybe he's going to be able to have a lot more than just 3. Even though I kind of still feel like it might just be 3 powers. But at the same time, I strongly feel like he can do more than just 3 because of this power of the darkness fruit, that the power that it holds. Maybe he wasn't, taking in all the types of devil fruit powers that he wants, because the devil fruit has a huge soul and it takes up a lot of space, and you got to have a lot of spirit in order to harbor more than just 1 or 2 devil fruit powers. Like, as you know, his body was already strange to begin with. So I guess that's why the power chose him, according to himself. Okay. So, I wonder if his devil fruit is actually a Logia type. Because it could be a mythical Zoan. But then at the same time, it very well could be a Paramecia. Well, one thing that I noted when I was watching that One Piece episode again, when they showed Blackbeard darkness in the way he spoke up in the dub, he always said stuff like, my shadow, or like, my darkness will swallow you whole, or some shit like that. I'm thinking that, like, he's like personifying his devil fruit. So what's up with that? Like he's giving it like human qualities. Like how is it gonna swallow? I thought that was your power. I thought that was you, but he's saying that my shadow will swallow you whole, or my darkness has the ability to do this and that. And then up in the anime, when they show the scene from his back, it was like a huge shadowy figure. It looked like just a shadowy mass just lingering behind Blackbeard himself. And you know, whenever he using his powers, it does come from his back all the time. It never from the front. Like when it came to absorb the fire that was on his chest, the power came from his back just to absorb the fire up off of his chest and then went back to his back. So I'm thinking like it's like a creature or like some type of stance or like spirit or like some being. So I don't know. Maybe. Oh, now lastly, I want to talk about Blackbeard's awakening potential. I wrote a few things down here. So I'm thinking that given the power of Blackbeard Devil Fruit has the ability to absorb and distribute. And it literally applies to his entire being now. Like, and then it extends into darkness behind him and shit. I'm thinking that one potential for his awakening would be like giving the same properties that he has with his body to something else. Okay, look, for one, I'm thinking that awakening might make him a lot more sensitive to pain, but also increasing that void inside of him, allow him to hold in a lot more and do a lot more, have a lot more potential with the devil fruit, as I've spoken of before. Maybe he'll be able to carry another devil fruit when he awakens, or two, who knows. But aside from that, as his body has the properties of has the properties of darkness itself, it's giving that to like his surroundings, like what you would think a devil fruit would, which it usually is extending the properties of your devil fruit to others, beings in lands and stuff like that. I think that Blackbeard, one form of Blackbeard awakening could be like a black void or darkness, just literally darkness. Like, let me give an example. Okay, I give this little thing the power to absorb, right? Now I clip one of my nails, and instead of just flying out somewhere because it has the power of darkness, it's gonna absorb it. And then I can just be like, treat it like a gun and boom, and then shoot it back out. But no, that's a minuscule little thing. Can you see the rooms and the walls behind me? Imagine it all had the power of darkness. I gave it the properties of darkness. Since I've given it the properties of darkness, I believe that with the properties of darkness to absorb, is going to absorb the light from one. So now everything is going to start getting dark. The area around us is going to become pitch black. Seeing me would be a problem. That's going to be your first issue. Now look, if you was a devil fruit user, here you're going through hell right now. This is hell for you, because everything has the potential to pull you towards it and take your power away. Just by being in the area, you lose your ability to use your devil fruit. Now, it has a lot more than just that, because I remember him sucking in the entire town. Remember the Febreze can? He sucks that in. So if he can do that, he can do it to you too. So instead of just necessarily doing it with his darkness and his shadow powers, maybe he do suck you in, bring you down, or slowly, if you stay still for too long, or don't try to resist the shadows, it's going to bring you into the void, crushing you, killing you. And by extension, probably taking your devil fruit away, giving it to Blackbeard if he could take it. But most likely wouldn't do that to you, because he doesn't want that devil fruit to be up in his body, because he has plans. He got options. So with the room being pitch black, the only truly strong people will probably be people with good haki. So people with really strong haki powers, like Roger, or somebody with a high will. Okay, so as they are fighting up in this dark pitch black room, use your observation haki to see and shit. Blackbeard could probably do stuff like with the shadowy mist around him. He can probably, like, let's say you use Haki Slash attack with your sword and it does an air slash. If Blackbeard avoids it and or just absorbs it with his shadow, maybe he can, at anywhere around the room around me, he can just send that slash back at you. Literally anywhere. Because the power, because, distribution. He absorbed it, and now he could distribute anywhere up in his awakening room. I kind of think of it like a domain expansion from, like, yeah. And you know how he's able to store stuff up into his shadows, Megumi can. Similar, but instead of just storing it, it's a lot more complex, because it's Blackbeard we're talking about with this dark fruit that has the power to compress, absorb, and distribute. So, I believe Blackbeard has the potential to have more than just 3 devil fruits than people be suspecting. Like, yeah, I get the 3 skull things, the 3 blickies, the 3 knives or whatever, the 3 scars he left on Shake's face. I get the symbolism and whatever, but I just think that he has a lot more potential than just having 3 devil fruit abilities. For one, the dark fruit might not even be considered one. Maybe he'll have 3 external, making that 4. But you know what? It could be whatever it want to be. All I know is that it's gonna be heat when we see Blackbeard versus Luffy. Like, it's gonna be a battle of gods. Let me see. Considering they were swallowed by a shadow. Oh, okay. Well, that's about it to my One Piece theory discussion Blackbeard video. I have fun doing research about it. It just dawned on me. I just want to talk about it. Leave a comment about it. You want to talk about it more or talk about something else like the next video. I hope that it's going to be heat for y'all. I'm going to make something about Naruto up in the Naruto universe and stuff with Chakra. It's going to be real cool. But anyways, I have fun making this video and I hope that you enjoyed watching. See you on the next discussion. Hopefully it's skit. Girl, shake that ass. Shake it on the motherfucking floor. Get down low on your knees and you get real low. Touch your toes like you shaking your motherfucking booty. Yeah.